I think a lot of films inspire me, even if indirectly. I'm a big fan of horror films, so I guess I'd say anything from Texas Chainsaw Massacre to Inception to Jaws have had an influence on my work. We, as a team, are constantly evaluating our work, and I listen to their feedback very carefully. We've also done a lot of play tests, and I really enjoy watching videos of people's reactions as they play. We take all this different feedback into account during the development process. When Laura first appeared on screen, I felt scared. Just her appearance is scary, but when you have to face her and somehow survive, that situation was really scary. In the past, I've made puzzle games, adventure games, action games, and of course survival horror, which I think people associate with me the most. So TEW, as a survival horror game, is true survival horror. I've taken the game back to the roots of the genre. In doing so, I've made some changes to some of the classic mechanics and elements of survival horror for the gamers of today. The game will feel different and familiar, all at the same time. I think, to an extent, people become desensitized to horror, so I think their memories of seeing something truly horrific for the first time plays into that. I'm not sure that I agree that old games are scarier. Maybe some things are just not as shocking, though. All of these things were considered. If you remember, RE4 had very unique controls. At the time, especially in Japan, gamers were not really used to free camera controls. So in RE4, we made it so that the camera moves with the player character. But nowadays, having player control and camera control separately is normal. TEW has incorporated some of these control conventions that gamers are used to. That's a very good question. There's a lot of trial and error before we get the right scare or surprise. Sometimes it's about throwing people off. This means advancing or delaying the scare from where players are anticipating the scare to happen.